Announced that Barbara Palmer will continue as running the Agency for Persons with Disabilities. She's done a wonderful job. So yesterday we announced Liz Dudak will continue to run ACNA. She's done a great job. Mike Carroll was the interim at the Department of Children and Families. He's got a history of doing a great job there and has done a great job while he's been the interim secretary, so we made him permanent. We're glad to answer any questions anybody has. I know you want to talk about jobs. Big month last month, 32,000 private sector jobs added, and since I got elected, 679,000 jobs.
So, Governor, speaking of jobs, there's a number of jobs at stake in the gambling industry and the Hard Rock cafes. Given the compact, the Senate President seems to be saying he doesn't care if the compact goes away. What is the status and what's your position on that?
Sure. I'm going to take the right amount of time to make sure I get the right transaction for the state of Florida.
Do you think it'll be better than what you've got now?
I'm going to take the right amount of time to do the best job I can for the state.
Governor, business groups have floated out an idea that's sort of a health insurance expansion, Healthy Florida Works program that's private insurance. Have you gotten a chance to look at that? Is that a middle ground maybe when it comes to Medicaid expansion versus doing nothing?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I mean, I'm proud of what we did in 2011. We did historic Medicaid reform, which has dramatically improved the program. It's affordable, it's accessible to our Medicaid recipients.
Governor, we'll be back here tomorrow morning with the Board of Clemency for the last time this year. And the first case on the agenda, I don't know what you've been briefed in on, it's a case of a Pensacola man who's serving life without parole for murder. He was not directly involved in the murder itself, but he loaned his car to the perpetrators. And there are a lot of people petitioning you and others that he should be set free. The Senate's ended. Can you comment on that?
Well, we're going to review it tomorrow. It'll be they'll present it in front of the Clemency Board, and my understanding is some of the victims' families. My understanding is going to be there also. So we'll look at it tomorrow.
Have you formed an opinion about the case yet?
No, I haven't.
Are you just generally opposed to the purchase of conservation lands, or are you taking a case-by-case basis?
Oh no! Look, we've purchased 28,000 acres on the rural lands acquisition, and I'm very supportive. But my job is to look at those every time. I'm going to continue to represent the state. You saw how well we've done with paying down debt. I'm going to make sure we spend the taxpayer dollars well. That acquisition was right at 100% of the lowest of the appraised values, is my understanding, and I think we can do a better job for the taxpayers of the state, and I'm going to continue to do that.
Governor, you talked about the team you're putting together, and you're going to be inaugurated in about a month. What are you going to do differently in a second term? Is your approach going to change at all?
Well, as you know, I ran in 2010 and I ran this year on jobs. We put out 10 policy proposals this time, so you can see what we're focused on. I'm proud of the fact that the private sector has really come back. In 2010, I talked about 7 steps to 700,000 jobs over 7 years. It looks like we have a shot at 700,000 jobs in 4 years. We had a big month in October, 32,000 private sector jobs. But you can look at those proposals. That's what we'll be working on. The big things is I want to have the highest per pupil funding for K-12 education in the history of the state. I will continue to hold the line on college tuition. I think we've got to look at what it costs to go to higher education. And then I want $1 billion in tax cuts over the next 2 years. Those will be the big priorities next year, but we're going to continue to make this a state where you want to live, you want to move here. You saw what Jesse put out, that the labor force is growing. I think a lot of that is people are moving here because they know they can get a job.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks.